Welcome to another episode of Kraken's Garage. I'm your host, Eric. Blah, 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 blah. We'll skip all the intro stuff. Today's vlog is just an update, and I wanted to share an email from my stepmother that I think you might find interesting. First and foremost, 446 subs, most of it coming from the Danny Hayes video, and I want to thank each and every one of you for the support on that. I expected to get a lot of hate, and I'm blown away at the outpouring of support and the comments that people made. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. Next, I want to talk about the channel a little bit. YouTube provides analytics on what videos are good and which ones are bad, and where geographically the bulk of your audience is looking at them. And my channel is kind of funneling down towards two motor brands in particular, the Benelli TNT. I'm getting a huge amount of views from Vietnam, Malaysia, Philippines. Thank you to all those boys and girls out there that are like my TNT content. I appreciate it. We'll continue moving forward on that. The other half, almost 100% Harley Davidson. And then I have a few trickle in on my Vespa content that I posted. Done some more historical type videos on the Vespa. We'll dive into the particulars of those, share my thoughts on that. And then eventually I want to get to history and gear reviews. Just recently did a gear review on a flannel shirt with armor. Over wintertime, we're going to talk about how I take care of my leather gear, how I treat it and clean it. We're going to talk about cleaning the liners on your helmets, the how-tos, things that you should be doing that all of us kind of put off. So hopefully we'll get some information out there that will help a few folks in their moto journey in life. I want to talk about my stepmother. She's been in my life since damn near the day I was born. She's a pistol, and she doesn't have any filter when she talks to me, and I've always appreciated that part of her, because you know where you stand. I can't stand somebody that dances around. When they have something to say, just say it. This email, I sent her a link to my YouTube channel. She was very interested in watching it, and she had several critique comments that I think should be brought up to you as well. And I'm walking this dark path with no light ahead of me on this YouTube venture by myself, and any creative criticism about how I'm doing it and how it might be improved. My focal point when I started this channel was lighting and sound. I can't stand watching a video with the wind blowing on the mic while you're riding, or poor lighting. I'm like, what the hell am I looking at, you know? So that's kind of where I put the few dollars that I had to get my setup up and rolling. Let's get on to the email. Let me give you a little bit of history about this lady. She's 88, I think now, almost blind, has a degenerative eye issue going on, so I'm lucky that she's still able to write me, even though when she writes the font's very large. She's doing the best she can with the hand that life dealt her. She was married to my father, Pops, and for a long time, 50 years. In my very first video, I shared how I knew I wanted to get into motorcycling. On the day I got my license, I ran down and bought my first bike, and off I went. Pop got back into it. I shared a picture of him on his old Harley when he was in his teens. So it's been a part of his life as well. He just kind of gave it up being a test pilot in the Air Force. If he went down, he would be out of a job. And it was, you know, kind of mission critical, the things that he was doing. So he bowed out for a while and got back into it. He and I started riding. My stepmother started riding with us. Very much a tomboy, and has a mentality, if a man can do it, I can do it better. I love her for that. When you think of an 88-year-old woman, you think of a little gray-haired old lady pecking away on a computer saying, you know, you be careful, and this isn't her. She's a very accomplished rider, mostly BMWs her entire life. My parents have toured through Edelweiss tours, through Scotland, I believe Ireland, Germany, Italy, France, most of Europe as a whole, and they have enjoyed a wonderful life together as a couple, with both of them riding their own bikes. They've been to Reg Pridmore's racing school in SoCal. There was another one, I can't think of it, but I remember flying back home to see them and borrowing one of their bikes, and we went for a ride after they took those classes, and they blew my doors off. I couldn't keep up with them, and I'm like, what a humbling moment. My parents, Geese and Louise, just blew my doors off. So I had to up my game and take some of those classes myself to learn to be a better rider. Just sharing a small part of my life. Let's talk about this email a second. It's quite long. and I'm going to try to read through it quickly, so I hope you bear with me. I sat here and watched all of the blogs, starting with the armored jacket through the history of Vespa. All very interesting, and I have some comments. I did not stay with the one where you were leading up to the commentary on Harley's marketing. I never had a Harley, of course. I was too small to handle one, and I wasn't after the image. When I got with the BMW club and went a different direction. But I watched all the others, and here are some impressions that might help you with the design. The blog where you rode the wide glide down the country roads while you were talking was a little too long. I was beginning to get seasick with the scenery rolling past. It needed to be broken up with intervals with some stationary commentary. Even just filling the tank up in a gas station or stopping for a cup of coffee and drinking while you talked about the leaves and etc. Valid points, and part of this evolution of my YouTube channel is me stepping out of my comfort zone and in public, pulling up to a coffee shop and getting a cup of coffee, setting up a tripod, and start filming and talking to myself with other patrons. Milling about is a little out of my comfort zone. People are looking at you like you have issues. I'll get there. I'm baby steps, we're getting there. She has a valid point. You could think of a lot of things to break up the endless scenery zipping past. I do congratulate you on the sound quality. I don't know how on earth you managed to get the speakers so your voice could be easily heard with the rumble of the Harley stayed in the background. That works great. I like the 2 camera setup where I could see both views. I would, bold print on wood, have liked to have seen a side view of the wide glide. You referred to the changes you made, but no picture of the bike sitting in the driveway or whatever in the shop. I don't know a wide glide from a soft tail and would like to learn more. It's kind of an in channel for those in the know about Harley. However, and that's what you wanted when you created the channel. Do you have an old photo of your dad standing on the shoulders of 2 bikes being ridden side by side? He has a cloth helmet on, for what that was worth. I don't have it, but it was with the one I showed you, I think. I gotta dig up that picture and see if I can find it. Talk about politically correct, a dude straddling shoulders on 2 other dudes riding with a cloth helmet. So much for safety. The clothing review on the armored shirt was great, and I thought your comment about selling it piecemeal was spot on. I objected to that years ago when BMW started doing it with their clothing. As for the shirt riding up, you would think the manufacturer would have figured out a jock strap to snap to the bottom of the jacket and keep it riding up on the side. I've had a few long, hard slides in my biking life, and I know whereof you speak. Even a wide elastic belt fastened with Velcro after you put your shirt and before you button it up, but it's a great between garment for the rider who doesn't want the look of leather or the price and wants to stay at the saloon for a beer, looking like a good old boy and not someone who just came off the track. A rider who's all armored up and protected top to bottom looks like he's afraid and he's going down and planning for it. Not an image any guy wants to protect. I used to get busted for wearing my cowhide chaps all the time. People would note that I was going to grind my buns off if I went down. But you know, when I went down plenty of times, and it was always knee injuries in spite of the chaps, never a smudge on my butt. And the worst accident I ever had, carrying your dad on the back because I thought I needed the experience, was in Long Beach when I rode over a piece of glass, cut my sidewall on the front tire, and I was riding in a cotton shirt. Never lost an inch of skin. Amazing. Just god-awful bruising all the left side of my torso from crotch to neck. Has anyone ever done a survey on injuries or not gotten in biking accidents relative to the clothing the rider was wearing? It would be interesting when you're discussing the pros and cons of clothing in a blog. The Vespa blog was good. The pace was a tiny bit fast. It was hard to follow as you talk fast, but I realized you had a lot of material there to present in a short time. Did you really do it that fast? Or did you speed it up in some way in the finished product? I didn't think you did that well in reading in school. Thanks. I didn't dig Elwood much, but he's aimed at a different crowd and age group than an 88-year-old lady. What's with the ghosts at the end? Okay. Fair enough. My comments on that are Elwood, my thoughts on Elwood, my twin brother, was to create some sort of humor at the beginning and end of every video. I'd usually do some sort of sight gag at the beginning and Elwood at the end as a reminder just to go riding and have a good time. That's what it's all about. And Elwood screaming at the camera. I've had several elderly people say, you know, that's over the top, dude. So my question to the people that watch my channel, all 446 of you, Give me your thoughts on Elwood. I'll kick him to the curb if it's not cool and it's annoying to watch, where it's like, skip, I'm out on that. The ghosts at the end. The worst part of this journey on YouTube for me is having to ask for likes and subs. I freaking hate it. I hate watching videos where I feel like somebody's selling something to me. It has annoyed me, but it is a natural item you have to do if you're gonna succeed on YouTube. So I cheese it up, I use my dogs, I put signs in the background, I use a green screen and I float them up in the air saying, there's your reminder, the ghost dog telling you to like and subscribe. And it's an easy way for me to not hard sell somebody. I'm just trying to have fun and throw a little humor on that as well, because Kraken's Garage is. If that's inappropriate as well, I'd be interested in hearing the public's opinion on that as I evolve and I'm moving forward. So this is a work in progress. I would like to think this video is better than my first. My first one was dreadful. But let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you want to see more in the future, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.